Well, I did a video on adult bullies, and it was taking hours to upload onto YouTube, and then it got deleted on purpose. So the new video is about the fact that the reality that we live in is a phony baloney reality. All of the conflicts that you suffer in your life are pre-programmed by this reality. Then you are given to believe you have some element of choice. In other words, you can choose to interact with people, you could choose to get in your car and drive away, and sometimes you do, but it is an illusion of choice. And the conflict is even an illusion. It's not like you don't experience it. You do experience it. You experience everything in here. You are the great experiencer. You experience everything. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. You are the experiencer. But everything that comes into your existence is not your doing. In olden days, the great people who were the ones who just told you stories said it was God that did everything. Well, maybe it is a God-like being that has got the abilities to create these things. Maybe it is a magic being. Maybe it's very high technology, but it's not God, because God to me means good. And this thing that we live in is hell. Everything that goes on, I was just reading a sample of a book about shamanism from Siberia. And the Siberian shaman writer said, yeah, everything that you were taught in the West about the nature of you being one body mind is incorrect. It seems we have different, generously, aspects of ourselves. There is the part that is witnessing what's going on. There is another part that talks. There's a part that's like the body that feels things, and it's the part that feels sick or sometimes feels really good. Then you have other body-mind complexes that you're forced to live around. You know, you think it's at random when you go somewhere and you see someone. No, it's not random. It's all set up. And there is no purpose to life on earth. There is no purpose because you don't have free will. I was talking about an interview I saw with the singer Brandon Boyd of Incubus, who said when he's on tour, he gets sick of being on tour because everything's automatic. It's all automatic. It's all automatic. And he feels like he has no choice. I feel like I have no choice. I feel like I am, someone wants to say, fixated on talking about how horrible it is to be like Brandon Boyd on tour. In other words, to have spirits, evil spirits around me that harass me all the time. Are they in physical human bodies? Sometimes. Are they non-physical? These are the ones that I'm really concerned about because I can't get rid of them. One of them is playing with my balls right now. How do they do it? I don't know. They have various stories about how they do it. How do spirits do anything? Non-physical spirits, or is it just a really high-tech thing? If you figure it out, in the human society that we're born into, well, we only had computers available in schools since let's say 1980. So, for 40 years we've had computers. Think about how much time our scientists have said that the solar system is 3.5 billion years. So, I mean, the chances that there were previous civilizations to ours are enormously 100%. And that they grew to be very advanced 100%. And they grew to the point where they could take consciousnesses, like us, and stick us into human bodies and make us go around and live a simulated life as simulated human beings, and then create simulated spirit voices that can play with your body and talk to your mind, and you can't get rid of them. So if you're a shaman, you talk to spirits. What do you do when you talk to the spirits? Well, I don't know. What's the point of talking to spirits? What's the top item on the list of things to do if you're a shaman? Mostly exorcise evil spirits from people. Can it be done? No. Because there are no spirits. It is nothing to do with shamanism here. Everything on this planet, doesn't matter what endeavor you do, it's phony baloney. It's set up by some advanced technology. Maybe it's a mixture of consciousness and computers, but it is all set up to make you believe that it is real. And unfortunately, even when you discover that it is all set up and it is a horrible nightmare, do you actually discover it? No, it is eventually revealed to you, maybe. It was revolved around me for a long time. In other words, this is not my word. Nothing is my words, but sometimes I'm surprised by the words because I'm going in one direction and then the words start coming out in a different way. It revolved around me. What? My world? Everything revolves around me. That's what they usually tell young people that they think are self-absorbed. Try and think of others. You can't think about anything except what you're given to think. You can't think about your balls that are being played by some invisible entity. The hell of it all is once you get to figure out that this is the way it is, there is no exit. There is no exit strategy. What you learn to do is to accept the fact that some unseen force is playing with your balls. Yes, you'll get frustrated, you'll feel sick. But that's the nature of the planet anyways. I mean, if they're not playing with your balls by unseen forces, well, before that happens, or maybe, I don't know, say before that happens, before they start playing with you by remote control, you're still a tool of capitalism. You get a job and you get a boss who tells you what to do. You don't get to follow your bliss. People say, if you want to be happy, follow your bliss. You don't get to follow your bliss. They tell you this, and you think, what a wonderful thing. In a utopia, everyone would follow their bliss moment to moment. You can't do it here. You can't do it here because you're constantly interrupted by the fat controllers. The fat controllers are what the metaphysical writer Stuart Wilde said are like the Wizard of Oz hiding. The fat controllers are nasty, evil, whatever the hell are they? Are they artificial intelligences or are they real intelligences? It doesn't matter. They are real, and the fact is that you are supposedly a human in a human body having a human experience. Some people say you're a spirit, an eternal spirit having a temporary human experience here on planet Earth. It's not correct. You are awareness, and then you are given a body that you experience the physical world through. But the things that you learn in your memories, well, they're all given to you to learn. It's mostly, you see something interest. Where does the interest come from? It's like it's all made to seem like it's part of you that's discovering these things. Oh, I like this. I like this. You don't have likes and dislikes. It's all given to you by some other item. The point of this talk is to say, as frustrating it is to have to deal with being in a human body and dealing with other humans, and frustrating it is to have voices of unseen spirits, let's call them. It's all the Matrix. It's Keanu Reeves' Matrix, and that's why they made the movie, because it's a documentary of what it's like to be here. I was talking at one point about Carlos Castaneda, who wrote a series of books about shamanism, and he talked about the parasite. What is the parasite? Well, he said the parasite basically is an organism that gives you your mind. And where does the mind come from? The organism called the parasite. The parasite gives you your mind, and then when you die, it takes your awareness, everything that you have experienced. That's the way he put it, more or less. Sometimes he expressed it a little bit differently. But basically, whatever you are being used. And as far as dealing with this kind of parasite, well, the one kind of parasite I talked about a long time ago was called Wetico, which is highly negativity things. Fields of negativity, people that are negative, negative thought forms, some things that don't seem negative but lead you down the garden path where there really wasn't much to discover. So it seems like a negative lecture. It's just, it's a wake up. It's a wake up call. Because if you do happen to see this lecture, if I can get it uploaded, which, I was having trouble before, and then the beings that are running the body, they frustrate the hell out of you because you don't make the words that come out. Maybe they express your feelings a little bit, but maybe they're just taking you off into some different tangent. But then they still make you feel like, well, it's your life, and you invested some time, half an hour, 45 minutes, in making a video, and then it won't go up, and then, oops, we had you delete it. And then they have you, let's recover it using some app, and you try 4 apps, and none of the apps can recover the video. So then you feel frustrated, and they kind of gloat at you. They said, yeah, well, they often say we're creator beings, and we create your shitty reality. What are you going to do about it? These are the fat controllers, also known as the archons. And, there's various wisdom teachings about how to deal with the archons. Basically, you're depending upon another item called Sophia, which is divine wisdom, to help you escape the archons, which are nasty fat controllers. Does it work? So far, no. What else can I tell you? How do you deal with adult bullies? If you can, you stand your ground with them, unless they've got a gun to your head and they say, go and walk into that room, and they lock you in. I don't know. It's like if you're on board one of these aircraft and it's hijacked, what do you do? Can you tackle the hijacker? You'll be given to do what you're given to do. I mean, maybe if you're a trained Navy SEAL, it's in your head, I'm going to take this sucker out. Maybe if you're a 65-year-old businessman, you're saying, I am too old to take on this 23-year-old crazy person. Right? So even when I say stand your ground, I don't know what I'm going to do. Someone's acting like an asshole. What am I going to do? Stuart Wilde said in his Warrior's Prayer, when I am in conflict, I walk away. That's fine, Stewie. But what I experience is sometimes I do walk away. Sometimes I stand my ground. Who decides? It ain't me, babe. Whatever's running the body decides. And I have to be there to witness it. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. I don't know. Is it living? It's an experience. It ain't living. It ain't living because you, the experience of it all, are not creating the experience. You might sometimes feel like you created the experience because well, I went down to the car dealership and I bought this car and now I'm going to get to experience the car. No, it is all a big setup. Every day, the thoughts that come into your mind and the experiences that you have, and then you think of the responses that come through your mouth or, through your fist if you get into a fight, are you. They are not you. They are something else that runs these other things in the experience. All you are is the awareness of the experience. What good does that do you? At some point, if you can keep remembering that, you can go and meditate and just become the awareness for a while. Perhaps if there's bad feelings in your body, they will dissipate. But you can't meditate forever. So then you have to go on and allow your body to take you out of your meditation chair and, maybe you need a haircut. Maybe you get the impulse. I mean, maybe when I say maybe it's you, but it's the body that gets the impulse to do these things. Do I have some feedback in here? It's quite a blend. If you look into different ways of looking at a body-mind complex, the ancient Egyptians said there was quite a number of different aspects of being that are at work in a combined thing called the human body. There was I can't remember them all. One of them was called a Ba. One of them was called a Ka. There was a number of them. I can't remember them all, but if you go to Wikipedia and look up the Egyptian way of looking at a human being, I'm sure you'll find these things. So, and again, the Mongolian shaman said the same thing. It's not one thing that makes up a human body. It's not a mind and a body. There's multiple aspects that make up a human body. But the human body, there are multiple pieces, but it's all set up. Because you, as awareness, witness all these different items doing their thing. And I pretty much figure it's pretty much the Matrix. So, how do you enjoy when the Matrix makes you feel sick? Why does it make you feel sick? It doesn't have a purpose. The whole purpose of the Matrix is there's no purpose. There's no purpose. You experience what you experience, and as awareness, bless you if you've had a lovely experience. But if you had a long string of depression, or a long string of being bullied by physical people or non-physical spirits, it is horror. So tomorrow at my local movie theater, they're playing the old movie, 1979 movie, Apocalypse Now. And spoiler alert, stop the video if you don't want to know anything about it. Okay, you're still here. So Apocalypse Now, I've seen the movie at least twice. It's a wonderful movie to see on a big screen. The bigger, the better. It's based on Joseph Conrad's book, Heart of Darkness, which is about people going up the Congo River in Africa, people from London, England, who are at the height of civilization, going up into deep, dark Africa, where it's very primitive. In Apocalypse Now, it's about a colonel who is... is it a colonel? Maybe it's not a colonel. It's Martin Sheen when he was young. I'm not sure what his rank is, but his job is assigned. He spent his life doing whatever, and then he gets this assignment by the military to go up the Mekong River into combat-ridden Vietnam. The Americans, the South Vietnamese fighting the North Koreans and the Chinese. And what's happened is Colonel Kurtz went rogue. He was part of the American forces, but he ends up going into the wilderness of Vietnam and sort of creating his own community there. And he doesn't want anything more to do with the war. And Martin Sheen is sent up there to capture Colonel Kurtz and bring him back to be court-martialed. In the end of the movie, the actor who plays Colonel Kurtz The name is not being revealed to me right now. Famous actor Marlon Brando says a little speech. He mumbles a hell of a lot. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's unbelievable, but he mumbles, mumble, 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 and then the famous piece of the Marlon Brando soliloquy, which is basically his speech that gets used in the movie trailer. It's just, he says, the horror, the horror. That's life on Earth, a horror. For a lot of people, it is. This is why in the movies, the actors say they're here to portray the human condition. Good, bad, and a lot of ugly. I mean, I know people that are considered rich. Do they live a good life? Well, they might have a beautiful house and a beautiful boat and, trips all over the place. But are they really happy? No. Sometimes, if they can get out in their boat, away from all the other humans, and hopefully if their mind calms down, they don't have unseen spirits that are torturing them, playing with their balls by remote control. But the human condition is you get sick. It doesn't seem to matter if you're rich or poor, you get sick from time to time. And then when you get old, you seem to get sicker. Some people seem to say healthy. You never know. You never know. During your day, you have moments of being engaged. And other times when you're engaged, you start to feel not so good. Other times you're engaged and you feel good. It's just awareness of it all, and you're not in control of it. I mean, if you're hungry, sometimes it's like the unseen spirits. The unseen spirits, that's what I feel like. They're making me feel hungry. So am I going to eat or not? Sometimes they make me feel really thirsty. So anyway, the point of the matter is that you, at your heart, if you're like me, are simply awareness. Who's to blame? It ain't you, babe. It's not to blame. And even if the body you're in does something that gets people upset, be mindful of the fact that you're not running the body. Some other aspect of whatever this stupid game is that we're in is doing it. So maybe you want to bookmark this video where I can tell you time and again, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, which means the other humans that are in conflict with you, it's not their fault either. It's a nightmare created by some other kind of beings. And they stole you from wherever you were and they put you into this nightmare reality. And sometimes, you try and come up with good wisdom, how to deal with it. The best wisdom I can tell you is it's the human condition, and, good, bad, and ugly, that's what it is. But it's not your fault. And if people are blaming you for what you've done, come back and watch this video and watch Bob say, I know what it's like. And I know sometimes I blame the unseen spirits for playing with my balls. Do they have free will to do it? Or are they basically something, watching something else play with my balls? Why do I call it my balls? Because I feel it. Part of my body that I'm encased in, and I feel it. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Are they doing it with scalar Tesla waves? Voodoo? Arthur C. Clarke, I keep using this quote. Sufficiently advanced technology and magic are indistinguishable. After 3.5 billion years of this solar system and the universe being older, do you figure that somebody didn't come up with very high technology that to us is pretty much invisible? That's the way it is, kids. It's not your fault. Try and let other people off the hook after you get out of a situation, if you can remember to. Because it's not their fault. They're a bit of awareness inside of a body that does what it does. It feels emotions. Emotions well up. Where do they come from? They don't come from your awareness. They come from the body. No, I don't think it even comes from the body. They're sent to the body. On another video a long time ago, I said, people say, well, consciousness arises in your physical brain. No, it doesn't. Somebody else said the brain is more like an antenna and it picks up a radio station. Maybe. There's layers and layers of the lies. The lies, the lies, the lies. The lies about, everything to do with consciousness and bodies and physicality. There's so many lies, 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 because it's part of someone's nasty game to put your awareness in this particular reality. Some people say, well, I love to go out camping. I love to do all this. I'll put up with the rest of it. I'm going to tell you the feelings and the desires that you have and the enjoyments that you have, they're just things for your awareness. And my awareness does enjoy things that are pleasant when the body feels well. And it doesn't like the bad stuff. But you can't get rid of the bad stuff. You can be the richest person in the world, Donald Trump, and the President of the United States, and look at him. Do you think he's happy? I don't think he's that happy. I mean, he's being Donald Trump, that personality. But, is he frustrated? I think he's frustrated. I think he's, he thinks he's him. We think he's him, looking at him. But somewhere, in his mind, he's Donald Trump, and he thinks he's doing all the things that he's doing. He's not. It's being done. Some separate thing is doing it, and he's witnessing it, and we're witnessing what we think is Donald Trump, a rich man. Why doesn't a rich man like Donald Trump, he wants to buy Greenland? I don't know why you want Greenland. It's frozen. No one wants that. All you want is an island in the sun. If you want the best song, it's called Island in the Sun by Weezer. That's all we really want. Why can't we have a nice island in the sun where we just feel wonderful? That's your lecture on utopias. I'm Harry Weaver.